But this week is a big deal for SoFi stock. And in this video, I will walk you through what to expect from the stock in terms of the technicals and how to prepare for any of those scenarios. Hi, my name is Ben. Welcome to Ben Talks Money. And today I'm going to walk you through what to expect from SoFi stock this week as we enter a crucial phase of the stock. And I'll show you the support level, the resistance level, and what a possible breakout will look like. So let's get started. So SoFi is becoming a darling stock. If you look at your Palantirs, your Robinhood, SoFi is the next name. And we all watch the stock hoping it will go close to what Robinhood has been doing, and this week is huge for SoFi. So let's take a look at the chart. If you look at the SoFi chart, the stock has struggled a little bit, right? SoFi stock has struggled a little bit, and it dropped back all the way to $7, as we can see here from the chart. Even below $7, it came all the way around $4, and it lingered there for a couple of years. Actually, from 2022 to late 2024, this stock was trading below $10, right? But with the adjustment that they've made to their business model, getting into crypto, expanding their market, this stock looks promising. And if you look at the last earnings that they did, it was extremely good, right? So there's been so much focus on SoFi because of that. So now everybody expects SoFi to make the move that Robinhood made for the past 6 months, right? And SoFi, the stock has been trying to do that. And right now, if you look at the daily chart, it's at a crucial level. It's at a very, very crucial level right here, around 23.80, 20. That's a crucial level for the stock right now. And the next step is to make that break. The 24 level is a huge resistance level. If you look at the daily chart, back in 2021, it got to 24, around 24.30, and it dropped all the way down back to $13. And again, after that, it tried again, and it failed in that same year. And then later that year, back in 2021, it tried to make the move again. And every time that it does that, it dropped all the way to around $12, $13, and it tries to make the move again. And it gets to 24, around 24-ish, trying to break the 25 level. It doesn't, and it falls back. The last time it fell back, it coincided with the COVID lockdown, that nobody was doing anything. So interest rate was almost zero. So SoFi dropped all the way down to around $5, right? And it stayed there. It stayed in that zone for a long time. If you can see the chart here, it was going up and down, up and down, up and down. It tries to break 7, it comes down. I remember buying the stock here around $7 at some point in 2022, 2023. It did nothing for almost like a year. And then late 2023, it started to move a little bit. It got to $9.50. It struggled. It got to $11.50. The highest it went was $11.50. And then it came all the way back again to $6.50. So the stock has been struggling, and late last year it began to make a move, right? It made a move around October 2024, and then it moved all the way to $16. It moved all the way to $16, around $16.50 there, and then it dropped again. It dropped all the way back to, you can see from the chart here, to around $12.80, $13, that zone. And that is a huge support level, because if you can see from here, every time it drops down, that's the the support level. It's a huge support level for the stock. The only time that it broke that support was the COVID era, right? And then it stayed here for a couple of years. But then after that, it came back and then it stayed around the same zone again. So now we've broken through the $12 support zone. We've broken through the $16-17 zone. Even in the $20 support zone, which was also huge. If you can see from here, that was a huge zone around the $20 area. And right now we are sitting around 23.70, 23.80 level. And that's the next thing for SoFi. And that's what you should watch for this week, right? If SoFi is able to break $24 this week with volume, you have to pay attention to the volume profile. It's very, very important because if it breaks 24 without volume, it should tell you nobody is paying attention, right? It's very important. The volume profile is very important. If it breaks without the volume, just ignore it for a minute and see if the volume comes in. If people start paying attention to the stock, you don't want to be the only one in that rally. Sometimes it's just somebody doing a pump and dump. You don't want to be caught in that thing. So if this week what I'm watching on SoFi is volume, I want to see the stock break the 24.50 zone with huge volume. This area, 24.80, let's say $25. So you want to see the stock break 25 and hold. Usually what happens is that it will break, if it's a good technical breakout, it will break with a huge volume around, and it will break through the resistance zone, the $25 resistance zone, and then it would pull back a little bit. It will pull back to, let's say, 24.50, but you see the strong volume, right? Strong volume, and at that time you see the short sellers coming in trying to push it down. And if they fail to push it down, that's when you see the squeeze. So what I would do is that I will wait for the breakout. Let it break out. If you're not already in SoFi, if you're already in SoFi, it's a different story. I'll talk about that. But if you're not in SoFi, what I'll do is that I will wait for the breakout to break the $25 zone. Let it break 25. Wait for a pullback into the 24.50 zone. With volume, check the volume. Make sure that the volume is above the average daily volume on that breakout, right? And after that, you wait for the pullback and then you get in. Because usually when it first does the breakout, the short sellers will come in, they'll try to take the stock down. If they fail, that's when you get the real breakout. And if this breaks out, the next support, the next resistance level, the only resistance level is $28, right? The only resistance level is $28. And from $28, you go there's a blue sky. There's a blue sky from there. So what I'm watching, if you are not already in SoFi, is wait for a breakout of $25 and a pullback into 24.50. And then you can get in, if you see the volume profile is above the daily average volume, you can get in around 24.50 for another breakout into 25. And then when it breaks 25, the next level is 28. It doesn't mean it's going to do all that this week, right? But that's what you watch for this week. But then if you're already in SoFi and you are looking at the stock, you've already made some profit on it, you don't want to lose all your profit, you also watch for the breakout, right? You watch for the breakout. If it's not able to break the 24.25 support zone, the 24.25 resistance zone, the next support level will be around $20, $20.50 zone. Because you have to know that support and resistance are not definite numbers. They are all zones. Because what you see on your chart is sometimes a little bit different from what I will see on my chart. But it all falls on the same zone. So it's not a definite number. Like 21.50 is the support zone. It's a zone. That's why it's called a zone, right? So if you're already in it, you have to pay attention to the 20 level. If SoFi breaks $20, I'm out. That's if you're already in it. If you're in it and it breaks $20, you have to think twice about what you're going to do, especially if it breaks down with volume. Because what I'm noticing from the market is that there seems to be a rotation in the market. The stocks that have been moving, up for the past couple of months, they are beginning to taper down a little bit, and you can see the stock that have been lagging behind. Those stocks last week, they started to move. So if the rotation continues this week and SoFi breaks below $20, you have to make a decision, because if it breaks that, the next level that is going to be is around 1820. That will be the next support zone, and if it breaks with volume, it can be nasty. So what I'm doing with SoFi this week is looking for a break over 25 with huge volume, and then pull back into 2450, and then get in on the 2450 for the next break with volume. The emphasis is on the volume. If it breaks without volume, I'm not interested. On the flip side, if it breaks below $20, probably a good way to short it, or maybe buy some puts on it, right? Because that's a huge level to break. So that's my play for SoFi this week. Let me know in the comment section, what's your thought on it? What are you doing with SoFi? Are you looking to get in? Are you looking to take some profit? Let me know in the comment section below. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.